Hello Guardian, I hope this video finds you well. With the recent promo for Final Shape pre-order, some rumors were spread around about pay to win, just like last year. Now, there's a big difference between overpricing or more things being behind a paywall, like cosmetics or other stuff, and actual pay to win. I'll just say that I'm against many things and it's becoming annoying. But that's a whole another topic about pricing and stuff. In today's video, we are just discussing the possible pay to win aspect. And let me tell you right now, straight off the bat, TLDR game is not pay to win and probably will never ever be. Let's now see bit by bit the possible cases or arguments that some people bait with. Season Pass. You are able to pay and insta level 100 or maybe even higher your Season Pass. What do you gain from it? Some light level, unlock artifact perks, some generic materials, and cosmetics. Cosmetics and whatever do not count. Light level, nowadays we live in a reality where power cap plus 15 or pinnacle cap plus 5 allows you to do and enter anything in the game, even GMs or master rates. The day one rate is even below power cap, while also being kept at all set stuff and thus not needing any more level. Season level 40 41, you gain full artifact and about 10 white levels. Season 100 109, you already have about 15 white level extra. This will not matter or help you anywhere except open world patrol zone or maybe solo lost sectors. As most tie-in stuff is level capped or under level anyway, like we said before, so you gain no advantage anywhere. And the little bit you gain for lost sectors or maybe a solo dungeon is negligible. The dungeon you would still be able or not be able, regardless, even with infinite level, save from rare exceptions. The lost sectors is the only real advantage you get here. The solo legend and master lost sectors to unlock new exotics. But even then, we now have VSF, Vex Strike Force, which is easier and faster, no RNG free, and for um, for which you have friends and Discord bots pinging you when it's around, and may even never again do a legend or master lost sector and unlock all armor exotics fast and no RNG. Can also do them uh, without that much level still. Artifact, you won't need it at all and will unlock it full fast enough before you even notice. Materials from the season pass and the rewards collection. Nowadays, especially with seasonal model changes, we have loads and loads of them regardless. Armor and other shenanigans. If you already play the game for some time, you could never buy a season again in your life and it won't matter. If you are a new or returning player without any season or just by buying a single one, you will have such great armor that you will never ever need any season again for that purpose. It's fairly easy to have decent armor, fast without seasons, and if you buy a season, just one, without any rewards from the season pass itself, even if it's forever level 1, you don't even level the season, you just talk to the seasonal vendor, and for a very cheap cost, you make god armor for all three characters and even get multiple sets with the stat variations you want. Bam, done. That's it. This is one of the top three strats for best armor in the whole game. And it's done so fast, so easy with low cost of materials. Plus, so you can already get everything you need fast, and yeah, it won't matter. But anyway, you could have all 6 stats tier 10 if it were possible, while someone else just has only resilience tier 10, or maybe a double 10 with resilience and discipline. And guess what? Guess what? It's just about the same. Not any advantage. Stats will not matter that much, regardless. I can safely say that you have, if you have somewhat decent armor, and it's fast enough to get it, you could never ever buy a season again, let alone level it. In other words, if you buy all future seasons forever and also pay to insta level them to level 100 or even more if it's possible, you can spend as much money as you want. And if I never buy any season again myself, you will still have zero advantage over me. And maybe not even have as good armor as I have. So again, you can pay how much you want, and it's just not gonna happen. I would still encourage you to have seasons and buy them for cosmetic purposes and other things that are fun and bored and whatnot. Anyway, season level 100 is also fairly easy to achieve without paying to insta level it, and fast, even for the most casual players. If and big if you know what to do to save time, it will be so much faster. Even then, still fair regardless. If bounty prep, for veterans, I don't even need to say, but you start season level 20 or even 30 and reach 100 super fast with bonus XP. There are 40-year events in summer and whatnot, which all have a pass, like a season within the season. Full cosmetics, most people don't buy them or don't even play them. Campaign skip, so Lightfall as a system in which after you beat the campaign on your first character, you are then able to pay and skip it on the other two. If you are going for a day one raid and need to level up week 1 or week 2 of the DLC full, you can still do it with just one character. And if you are doing that, if you are that player, you know stuff, or you are taking days off and spending a lot of time in the game regardless, and more than you would even need. So that is never an issue. Otherwise, you will level fast enough anyway, and not need full level for nothing so soon. Future campaigns should have this same system, but usually you just need to beat it with one character and that's it, unless it's like the White Fall year and you are unlocking a new subquest like Strand. Well, the campaign takes 2 hours. Let's speak about the worst scenario. For second and third character, you would spend about 5 to 20 hours total of game time. In a whole year, remember, until the next DLC drops. So you are paying a huge amount of money to skip 4 to 20 hours in a full year. Sorry, buddy, but that's just not pay to win in my books. If it was cheap and you would skip at least 50 minimum hours, 50 minimum, yes, that would be a huge time saver. Spend time for yourself and also have everything in the game. And maybe more power for you if the quest is good at release, which it wasn't, and you would have advantage over other players. So this is not a pay to win, and it's also not worth it. Please don't spend that money. It's very expensive price and to gain nothing. So yeah. Final shape pre-order and pre-acquisition of the Tessellation exotic weapon. Exact same story as last year. Weapon comes busted, immediately gets disabled and nerfed. You don't use it for a full year, or half a year, should I say, whatever, until the DLC drops. Along with some buffs, also reworks, also the catalyst finally appears, and above all, everyone also has it. Without the season pass, instead of level 1, you still get the weapon at like level 35, completely for free, I think, without the season, not sure. So you are not paying for the weapon in the first place. It's a bonus fund along with cosmetics for stuff, helping with the pre-order, which seems fair. You should even get materials and something else usable, I think. But even if you don't agree with me, you have a bad or disabled weapon for a full year or half that you will never ever use. You will dismantle it or just sit in vault. Until finally, after everyone has it next year, it becomes just usable or maybe a bit busted for a short period of time. Yeah, man, this is not a pay to win. Maybe it could be with Catalyst also included, but these pre-order things are supposed to tease you and give some little help, not be a full package. But even then, if it can be the Catalyst, who cares? West topic, dungeon keys. Before in the video, I spoke about seasons in general, but some seasons are kind of special and different from the others, as they include the dungeon key, which means they allow you to have access to the dungeon forever if you have bought that specific season. Side note here, I am a huge advocate that seasons should be included along with the base expansion DLC and not within the year separate seasons. To me, that seems just inconvenient and maybe overpricing stuff again, but I digress. This is the only time where you could maybe just maybe be into pay to win territory, but honestly, if you pay to access a DLC and unlock a dungeon or raid, whatever, it's just fair that new gear comes with it. And regardless, a free to play account, even without any DLC expansions or raids and dungeons unlocked, can have similar or better gear, even exotics. Nowadays, we even have 3 raids and 1 dungeon free for everyone. You want the dungeon exotics? For what? Like double navigator swap? Very niche and almost no one uses it. If you do crazy skips, you have other other ways to do it and are committed enough to have everything unlocked and bought into the game. And chances are, many of you don't even know what I'm talking about. Now, Galahorn, the Giro Galley. This is the only one weapon in the entire game that could actually be pay to win. But is it though? 30th anniversary pack is now, I think it's cheaper, or also bundled with something else. And by itself, it has Dares of Eternity, Activity, and Grasp of every dungeon, with Gary included and some more stuff. In solo play, if you solo bosses or do challenges, whatever, you will never ever use Gary. You will probably use it in generic open world or solo lost sectors. If again you have plenty of other ways to do those lost sectors, and you maybe don't even have to do them ever again since we already spoke about VSF before, right? The new mono thing, like we spoke before in the video. So you don't need to do lost sectors and have other ways to do it. That's not that big of an advantage. Team play. Galahorn is a support weapon for other rocket users. And though the buff was nerfed from about 81 to 27%, it's still broken, sure. In a team of 6 and maybe 3, if you use rockets, there must be one Gabi user. But the reality is, it's not always rockets, though it is the most and also meta right now. And maybe will change over time, many times. Also, there must be one Gavi user and no more, just only one. Many people will not care, and in general, in generic content, it doesn't even matter what you use anyway. But if it does matter, or if people are a bit more serious and or maybe even toxic, try to use a second Gavi. You are kicked before you even notice. There is one Gavi user only. That's it. More, is a loss of both total damage and DPS and exotic SWAT. Makes no sense at all. Plus, everyone and their mothers has a Galahorn. It's so rare and almost impossible to find an instance where no one has a Gawi. And most likely, guess what? Everyone, every single one in your team will have Gawi. And no one will even want to use it. That's right. If you're ready enough, most likely, again, everyone in your team has it, but no one wants to be the Gawi daddy. People just want to DPS, then you wait a bit and someone will suffer and change to Gabi. Like, okay, I will do it. Eh. So, again, all the team has it and no one wants to use it, but someone will. And you cannot use it. No more Gabi, just one. Sorry, sir, but this is not pay to win. You can't even use the weapon. The only thing where I could see, like, oh, you really need it, it's such a broken thing, duo gatekeepers. But if you two-man raids, I mean, you probably will have everything in the game or be skilled enough to bypass Gabby. You can use cluster rockets or other stuff there and still duo gatekeepers. Plus, this is a personal challenge. You gain nothing from duo gatekeepers or duo the full raid at all. Again, TLDR. Game is not pay to win and most likely will never be. The game model itself doesn't allow it, which is perfect. I will still encourage and advocate to buy seasons, or at least the ones with dungeons for the drip and completion's sake, also lore. Everyone knows, like, the true end game is fashion, right? Anyways, thank you for stopping by and take care of yourself, Guardian, because you are worth it.